Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Monday morning. Yep, starting a new work week for those that work. Monday morning, the 14th day of July, 2025. This is the morning briefing. Looking out the window from the home weather office, blue sky, not much in the way of a breeze. There is a little bit of haze out there, and that may be one of the biggest features that we're going to be talking about today is the fact that we are once again seeing smoke in the area, generally elevated. However, in the north end of the valley, especially from Chico to the north, a lot of that smoke is down on the ground and making for worse air quality. In other areas farther away from the fire, the smoke is a little bit elevated, making for somewhat better air quality. So I'll talk more about that, and I'll also talk about the temperatures this week. The weekend didn't turn out that bad. Sure, we were hot on Friday, but the weekend, actually not that far from average for this time of year. I'll show you that and show you the kind of weather we're going to have, the kind of temperatures we're going to have as we go through this week. So here's the satellite this morning. Look at all of this smoke down the west slope, then down to the south end of the valley, and then even into Southern California. Yeah, for those of you in Southern California that may be waking up to hazy skies, well, you've got not only the smoke from the Green Fire, we also have big fires burning in Utah as well as in Arizona, a big one near the Grand Canyon burning here, so a lot of smoke throughout the west. And some of the smoke that we have actually might be coming up from the south as well. So we have, once again, here in the western states, a combination of fires burning that are making for less than desirable air quality as we go through our summer months. Yeah, that fire near the Grand Canyon, it's pretty nasty, and again, the one in southern Utah as well. Let's talk a little bit about the Green Fire that's burning here, and that's putting up most of the smoke that's coming into California. So for that, let's go over to Watch Duty, and we'll talk a little bit about the Green Fire here. Now up to 11,000 acres. Last week, I think on Friday, it was around 7,000 acres. Let me zoom in on this a little bit. This is interesting. Yesterday, I watched the daily video from Zeke Lunder, The Lookout on YouTube. If you ever want to have good fire information, Zeke is the man. So this is the outline of the fire, and you learned a lot from watching the fire videos from Zeke. He pointed out that they're using this arm of the of Shasta Lake as a boundary, so they're trying to hold it here. It also looks as though this little area to the north is probably a burning operation, so they'll probably let this area fill in. And then Zeke was also speculating they may let this entire peninsula here burn as well, using arms of Shasta Lake as boundaries. So the difference here is, of course, this is a Forest Service fire as opposed to a Cal fire, and I don't want to get into that whole debate. But the point here is that, you know, there are areas where they set up perimeters that are well away from where the active fire is burning. So that means that this fire could continue to burn for a while, and that's the theme that we often see with the fires that burn in the north end of the state. They're Forest Service fires, and they'll set up wide boundaries and let, you know, nature take its course, so to speak. So we'll see what happens with that. But the thing I wanted to point out was the fact that we are likely going to continue to see smoke from time to time from that fire. But again, we also have other fires burning. We have a bit of marine layer this morning, but it's, well, not going to be as impressive as the last couple of days. But boy, the Delta breeze made a difference over the weekend. And here are the temperatures for Executive Airport in Sacramento so far this month. Did the 102 on Friday, but then over the weekend, 94, 94. Average is around 92. And yesterday, 94 over 59. For July, that's a walk in the park. And actually, for the month, the temperatures so far are pretty close to average, actually minus 0.2 degrees, so pretty close to average. But here we are, today is going to be close to 100 degrees. So we'll go through the first half of this month with 1 or 2 100-degree days, and we're still only at 4 for the year. 2 in May, 1 in June, and the one we had on Friday at Executive Airport anyway. But 102. And that's as hot as it's been so far this year. Last year, by this time, we'd already seen some days at 110. So, yeah, it's been warm, but for July in the valley, this isn't all that bad. We're doing okay, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But we still have a long way to go. But yeah, now we're into the middle part of July, and this doesn't look too bad. All right, so here's the pattern that we have set up here. Kind of a weak ridge here, weak trough kind of going through. That trough will get a little bit deeper during the day tomorrow, helping to, first off, take some of that smoke that's from the green fire, move it off to the east, and then this flow that you have here will also help to steer some of the smoke from Arizona and Utah also farther to the east. So I think that on Tuesday we're going to see better air quality and cooler temperatures. And with more troughing as we go through the rest of this week, things are looking pretty good for us. It's going to be warm this week, but today is probably going to be the hottest day we are going to see. Let's see what day we're up to now. This is Friday. And then into the weekend, we'll see what happens. There's that weak little low coming up, and that may disturb the flow a little bit. And all it takes is a little bit of a north flow to get our temperatures in the upper 90s to near 100, as opposed to the onshore flow. So we'll have to see what happens with that as we head toward the weekend. Also, another feature that I'll point out is strong flow now beginning to come across Mexico and into Arizona and New Mexico, and feeding up here. This is classic monsoon, so we are going to continue to see good thunderstorms, good monsoon pattern now set up for Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah. Actually, that's how some of those fires started. But all in all, temperatures are going to be okay. Here's the way the HRRR shows today. So let's go to around 5 o'clock this afternoon. And it shows the north end of the valley with temperatures around 100, 203, the Sacramento area, upper 90s to around 100, and then through the San Joaquin Valley, also upper 90s to near 100. Also keep in mind this model was overshooting last week. And then this is on Tuesday afternoon. Instead, the north end of the valley is in the mid 90s, the Sacramento area low 90s, and low 90s through the San Joaquin. And let me show you the way the NAM, this is last night's NAM, is showing it. And I'm just showing you these numbers for relative. As I'm recording this just before 8 o'clock, the 12Z data isn't in just yet. But what this shows is a max temperature of 101 today for Sacramento. And then on Tuesday, a max of 90. So when I look at this is what I look at. So whatever today is, this model is showing that tomorrow is going to be 10 degrees lower. And then it shows that on Wednesday, we're down another 4, 86. So all of that is really good. This is good onshore breeze, 230 wind at 10 knots. Same thing tomorrow, 227 wind at 11 knots. So we're looking really good. So today, some areas in the valley will certainly be above 100, but we're not going to be seeing much of that as we go through the rest of the week. So I also wanted to show you that over the last couple of days, if you were looking toward the Sierra, you were seeing some buildups there, and there were a couple of showers. So let's show you what's going to happen during the day today. This is this afternoon around 5 o'clock. Maybe a couple of showers around Topaz Lake and a little bit to the east and along the state line. But looking from the valley, you will be able to see those buildups. And then once again in Arizona, we have thunderstorms. That's today. And then during the day tomorrow, we once again see some of those showers, maybe around Bodie and down toward Mammoth and Mono Lake. Those areas may be seeing some of those afternoon buildups. But it's the sort of thing you just might be able to see from the valley. And then on Wednesday, the NAM is showing a couple of bubbles here and there. But all in all, we're looking pretty good. So some of that smoke and haze we have around today should improve tomorrow as the flow will turn more southwest, helping to steer a lot of that smoke farther to the east. It looks like the green fire, it's going to continue to burn for a while. It's not one of those fires that's going to go out in a hurry. Like I said, 11,000 acres now, and expect that number to go up as they'll just kind of let it burn to the lines that they're trying to set up. And again, if you want more information on that, go watch one of Zeke's videos. You'll learn a lot there. But otherwise, yeah, today the warmest day of the week with highs for Sacramento anywhere maybe around 100, maybe 98, maybe 101, something like that. But then the rest of the week, pretty comfortable for mid-July. We're doing good so far. That's everything I've got for you on this Monday morning. Make it a great day. I'll talk with you later.